this one will be quick. So since last week, unit test fixing, we talked about it, merge remote tracking, this is a merge from 1.10x to 1.10.2, and then Benedek fixed the paging issue, which is that when you have max page size applied, if
page size is 0, so you open up the content page and the page size is 0, but you have a max page size, then it won't be applied.
Yeah,
it's applied now.
Page size 0 means show everything.
Yeah.
And it was showing everything, but if we have max page size, we should limit to that. Okay, that's what is fixed. That's good. Orchard 2. Orchard 2. Orchard 2. Yeah, so I'm not shipping 1.10.2 right now. I'm waiting for someone to give a fix to some to a bug. So there is a blocking bug, so I want to fix it first. So Orchard 2.
Which one is that, by the way?
I'll show you later. What happened? There is just rebase here, so it's hiding the work because rebasing pushes all the changes at the top. Here Sergio works on OAuth2. It should be now almost finished, which means next week we should have a demo of the module. The module is called openId, but it's for API and authentication flows. Then Antoine merged the Bootstrap for Alpha 6 update for the new theme. This is ongoing work, but the idea is that some settings, when they are changed, need the tenant to be restarted to be taken into account. So now it's displaying a message that the settings will only be taken into account on restart. These are authentication settings that can't be changed dynamically. They are set up during the startup phase with middlewares. So that we need a restart. So now there is a banner that is displayed as long as the site hasn't been restarted. And there is a new button in the settings to restart a site if you have the correct permissions. This is layers module, the one I showed you last week, but I updated it. I will show you today. Content manager improvements with the IsLates collection for first level cache, but you don't care. Start working on handlebars. Yes, so Jean-Thierry has been working on enabling handlebars as a view engine for shapes only. Okay, not for views, but for shapes. And the ultimate goal being to be able to create shape templates like we have in Orchard 1, but based on handlebars. I'm not sure where it will go. We might, after some discussions we've had with Jean-Thierry and also Daniel, we might want to drop handlebars completely after that, because it will demonstrate that it's unusable for templates in Orchard, because it's too limited. So we already started some discussions to see how we could convert all of these to use Liquid instead. So the conversion work should be very easy to remove handlebars and use Liquid. So he's still working on these handlebars feature, but we'll see at some point if we need to do the switch. So it's going on. There's a PR, you can try it if you want, and yeah. So it's dynamic templates, and also if we can do some themes with this, well, if designers can use handlebars or Liquid to do their themes, that's also good. But the goal is really to have a secure environment, to a secure theming, templating engine, so that anyone writing a theme can't execute code that is not supposed to execute. Okay. The Bootstrap branch, this is just things we talked about. Nick is continuing his work on the mvcless branch, which is about refactoring every component and not making MVC mandatory for making multi-tenant and SaaS applications. This is the latest from, did I pull everything? Yeah, so the same branch. I updated the csproj branch to, because the build script have changed and the CH scripts have changed. That's it. So demo only update. In the meantime, topics that harvest, news. So I didn't mention it last time. We have, I assume, the full list of sessions. The dates are wrong. This is wrong. As of tonight, this will be the full price, which means a little less cheap. So this is a full list of sessions. We have Rob scaling Orchard on Azure, Bertrand with .NET Core 2 and C#7, Chris and Daniel about a new feature to cache elements independently, not just, it's output cache, but at the shape level. So they have implemented something they will show. SPA applications, JavaScript-based applications with Orchard, how to do that. There will be a panel. I put only Sipke, I think, because he's the dictator, so he will be the only one at the panel, or maybe not, we'll see. To be defined. Taylor Mullen from the ASP.NET MVC team will talk about the new features in ASP.NET MVC 2.0. Okay, well, the next version, I assume it's called 2.0, but I'm not sure. There will be the new Razor Pages stuff and the tag helpers. I think the new tag helpers or the new Razor extensibility. We'll see. I'm not sure. Nick about software as a service framework for Orchard Core, how it's done and how to use it. This is what Orchard Core CMS is based on. So Steve building themes using the latest client-side technologies, and he will do it using Orchard Core. Okay, so he will take, he said, that's from his abstract, from a WordPress theme to Orchard 2 theme. Benedek about localization so I took 2 sessions. I'm fine doing 0, okay, but I think it's important to talk also about Orchard Core. So I have extending Orchard Core and what's new in Orchard Core. That's the schedule. Questions? I'm sure I'm not alone on the call.
I guess the times are localized too.
They are completely wrong.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. Because I put something completely random, they are just different thought, and also because I think there's a bug in the views that doesn't localize, not localize, but time zone them. Maybe it's because last time it was in Alicante and I didn't change time zone. I don't know, that there's something weird, because I'm sure we fixed it a few years ago so that they reflect the location where we are. So I'm not sure why it's happening. But yeah, it will be fixed. And also, I know some of you want to give the session early in the conference because they want to have their mind free after that. So things will be changed. Okay. The keynote, for instance, is not define, and it will be the first one, whatever people say. So yeah, I spread them equally, I think, on the 2 days, or maybe not, but that's the only thing. That's it. Like usual, as usual, 45 minutes. So the session this year will, well, maybe actually part of it. So recording the sessions, they will be recorded as good as we can. At least we have now the device to record the screens. So we can do it by ourselves. This is a device that was used in Alicante last year that lets us output the laptop from the speaker and record it live. We can even stream it if we want, but we can't because we'll be dependent on the internet connection of the conference room, which will be bad, I'm sure. So we can't stream it, but technically we could. But at least we'll record everything in good quality, like it was for the last year. And then there is a question about recording the speaker itself. So the sound and the video is fine. So we can record the microphone and the output of the computer, which is basic. We need that. We absolutely need that. Then, do we record the speaker? We can, but there are technical issues. I don't want to use a videographer just to have a fixed camera recording the speaker and not even doing the editing, because last year we had to do it also. And the year before it was done by the professionals, but it was crap. So that's why we did it last year. So I assume it's better to have the speaker thumbnail, okay, in the video, but I'm not sure it's mandatory, and it will depend on if we can do it or not. I had a quick chat with Rob about being able to do it ourselves with our cameras, but there are many limitations in the cameras, even the high-end cameras that you can buy today, that prevents you from making the video for the session. Does anyone have any experience with that?
Sorry, what type of camera did you say?
Whatever camera you have, even if you paid it $5,000 or euros.
Oh, yeah, actually, so usually these cameras have a limitation on the video that you can record at the same time. So my camera, for example, does so the 10-minute limit if it's 1080p 60 FPS. Yep. But as soon as you stop the recording, 3 seconds later you can start it again. And I think if it's only 30 FPS, then it's 20 minutes, and the same thing. So which is it's stupid, yeah. Actually. It's there is no. I think they say it's because overheating or something like that. And
no, there are three things. There are three issues. First, legal issues. In Europe, if your camera can record more than 29.59 seconds, well, more than 30 minutes, then it's no more a camera, it's a video camera, and there are taxes for that. So in Europe, all the cameras are limited to 30 minutes if you buy them in Europe, first. Then there is a technical issue. If you have a Canon, for instance, even DSLR and things like that, they are using FAT32, which limits a file to 4 gigabytes, which on 1080p means 12 minutes max. So you will have to hit the record button and do 6 films if you want to record 1 hour video. Okay, and then Bertrand mentions that batteries are limited, and also the camera will overheat after some time, so it will shut down by itself. So we'd better go with an iPhone to record everything, because it won't be. I don't know if is an iPhone limited in terms of video length. I'm not sure, but then the lens might not be adapted for recording the speaker. So technically, the only solution is to have an actual video recorder, a camera video camera recorder, which doesn't have all these limits. But I don't know anyone who has that. Does anyone have one? Because then we can just have a tripod and put it fixed on the. We can also rent it, yes. Usually, by experience, Bertrand, renting is more expensive than buying on all these technical things, or as expensive. So we can also buy one if we reuse it. But so this year we bought the screen recorder, which is very cheap. The hard disk plus screen recorder cost like 200, and we will be able to reuse it every year. Camera, I'm not sure it's useful. Rent might be the best political option, if at least it's less expensive than buying.
Well, if we have 2 DSLRs, and I think we can
no, it's too much churn. Like someone will have to click the button every 10 minutes, and then during editing, we'll have to edit things. Oh my god, stuff.
Yeah, it's painful. I know I do it for hours.
I will say it's even better not to record the speaker at this point. If we have the screen and the voice of the speaker, I mean, at least it's good. Then let's see if we can have a real camera. That will be best. But if we use a videographer for the camera, it will cost like on average $3,000 to record the thing. So a tripod and a camera might be less expensive. So that's it about Harvest. So shirts have been ordered, badges have been ordered. So the shirts I have ordered already, whatever asked me for extra shirts, plus whoever was on the conference, plus double the conference already registered. So I'm sure that for the next ones we'll have enough t-shirts. What else? I'm sick, but you can hear that. Yeah, Skype is not contagious. At least that's good. What else? We are still looking for a place to do the social event, but we have time. For the past years, we have decided that the day or 2 days before the event, while being local, talking to the restaurants if they agreed, and prepaying sometimes. So that's fine. If you have ideas to go for New York, please let us know. George already has a few of them. It's still time to register. So if you haven't registered and you intend to come, please come. It's good. It's cheap. Lots of people from Europe and not from UK actually. I'm kind of sad because we chose also New York for the UK people to be able to join easily. And actually we have one from UK who's Rob King. That's all, I think. Everyone else from Europe is coming from elsewhere than UK, so that's kind of sad for the English people. Yep, that's it. Questions about Harvest?
Are you still looking for any additional speakers or no?
Yes, if your session is better than mine, for instance, yes. So it depends on the subject. We could have still one slot, whatever the subject is. So yeah, please submit your session if you want, and we can look into it.
Okay.
So this is the same site as last week. The difference now is that you can see in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So now there is still the flow page. Okay, this is what I showed 2 weeks ago. Where you can add widgets on an item, but it's for the content zone. The layer code that I did last week, I moved it to a part now. Like in Orchard 1, when there is a widgets part, there is a widget list part now. So if you, I think I added it on the page here, which means yes here. So this page has a title, and from this page you can create widgets on different zones of the layout. Okay, it's not the flow part where you can edit widgets for the content itself. It's widgets for the zones on the layout for this content item, in this case for this page. Okay, and this is inline, so all the content items live inside this content item. All the widgets live inside this content item. So this is like the layers from last week, but now it's a part. It's the widget list part. And you can move. So if I do paragraph in content, you can then move it to the other zone here and still edit it, and it's live. Okay. So this is for it's a new part then, widgets this part. And then there is the layers. So if I go to content and I click on layers, I already have some layers and widgets. Improvement can be done. On the right, like for Orchard 1, we list all the layers. Okay, you can edit a layer, create new ones and delete them. So all pages and home page. For instance, all pages just has a role true and the description, and home page has the is home page. Okay, and this is not a content item. This is just a document with all the data. Then we have all the zone available here, and we see the widgets here that I can move around for each zone and between themselves. And these are just the summaries for any content item, because a widget in this case is just another content item with its own lifetime. It can be published and draft, kind of versions. It's completely independent. It can be localized. It's a content item. So if I look at the website here, it might be ugly. If I do that, it is ugly. Okay. So I have this block here in the content zone and this quote in the footer. This is because this thing is in the content zone and this thing is the footer. So if I did some text here, I can click there. You see it's the standard editor. Some text, and I see E, which is, I assume, the one which is published. Let me publish it so I don't have the draft. E, yeah, that's it. E. So if now I change and I say a draft F, I save a draft. Okay, I have a published version and a draft. Here, if I hit F5, this is still the published version. Okay, and if I take this one and I say publish, now I refresh and I see the published version in the content. So if I move this in the footer without a breakpoint, footer, and I refresh, it's in the footer. I haven't tried it, but it should work. It didn't work. Okay, the position don't work, but I know, because that's okay. It's work in progress, but you can at least move them in zones. Okay, that's the widgets feature. Questions? So this is the layers. There are 3 different components with widgets now. Widget is any content type. Widget can be in flow pages, in flow part. Widget can be in widgets part, like in the page, and widget can be in layers to be rendered across different pages. Okay, these are the 3 components for widgets, and I think this covers everything we had in Orchard 1, but raising the widget concept. So far, what I haven't done is handling the title and the rendering. So title is handled to define the text here, but it's not rendered yet. That's the only thing. You can switch layers. Oh, I didn't show you. So, which one is it? So some text is on the home page, and this one, the block quote, is everywhere. So this is why this block quote is everywhere. This one should be on the home page. So if I go in this blog post, I have the quote, but I don't have the thing which is on the home page. Okay, so it still works. Okay, done with the demo. I'm going back to the other computer because it's too loud here. So questions about the demo? I don't see the chat. I lost the chat. I saw some questions.
Are you still defining the zones in as a setting in the site, or do you retrieve them from the theme.txt?
Not yet. So they will be initialized with the themes, but not yet. Right now it's a list of zones. Sergio, is it supposed a widget is related with layer like in Orchard 1? If you select one layer only, do we only see only widgets on that layer? In detail right now I don't have any interaction with the layers, but yes, we should have checkboxes probably to filter out the widgets which are not in the selected layers on the editor. Otherwise you will see all the widgets and you're not sure on which layer it is or how it will be rendered. So maybe we should have it, yeah. And that should be easy to do actually. That, and the other question I was asking myself was, should we allow a widget to be actually displayed on multiple layers? I assume that will make sense. That we can say we have different layers and select multiple layers, so they will just be displayed if any of these layers is true. Maybe we should do that. It doesn't prevent anything and it's just more flexible. No other questions? Done? Topics? Do we have any topics? Dynamic compilation. So, a summary of what we talked about last Thursday with Benedek. Benedek?
Yeah. So basically currently on the dev branch, and I think on 1.10x too. So there's a bunch of C#sys code in the repository, and that most of them are coming from pull requests. And the reason behind that, I guess, is we didn't really have a clear statement about Orchard 1 not supporting C#6. I have added that to the documentation now. So whenever you are reviewing or signing off a PR, currently we can't really accept C#6 code because we don't use a compiler for that. And that's one of the things that breaks dynamic compilation. But it's pretty easy to prevent that. And there's actually an XML node called lang version that you can add to the csproj files. So you can say lang version 5, and Visual Studio will know that it shouldn't compile with C#6 code. So that's pretty easy to check. I have a fork where I started to remove all the C#6 code, or actually I have removed all of the C#6 code and added this lang version node to the csproj files. And the reason for that, because I found out that dynamic compilation doesn't work regardless of that in specific scenarios. So if you change an extension that is referenced by another extension, and dynamic compilation kicks in, then the recompiled extension can't be loaded by the other extensions. So I'm not 100% sure why that happens yet. Unfortunately, I didn't really have time to investigate that in the last couple of days, but it's probably related to the extension loaders. Maybe some of the extension loaders are taking over. It's related to reference extension loader for sure. Yeah, so still work in progress. The main thing is that if we resolve all of these issues and all the tests are passing, then we can add C#6 support, which is pretty cool because it you can write a much nicer and cleaner code. So it's work in progress now.
Yeah, so there are two issues here with this topic. It's dynamic compilation and C#6. We can't support C#6 right now anywhere because dynamic compilation doesn't support it. Okay.
Yeah, just one addition. If the base issue with the extension loaders are fixed, I already have the fix for C#6 support. So, for example, orchard.blocks is a nice example because none of the other extensions reference orchard.blocks. So dynamic compilation works with C#6 with the orchard.blocks if I apply some small changes. I have a patch file for that, so that's easy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, C#6 and dynamic compilation is that there is a bug today if a module references, as in Visual Studio reference, another module, then dynamic compilation fails because there are two references added in the compilation statement. So this is one bug, but just for one module right now. So we have two small things to work on. Other questions, topics? Miss anything? I don't think so. Nope. Roadmap hasn't changed, at least on Orchard 2. Next step, taxonomy media projections. And this is done, minus the little bugs and quirks that I will work on and try to finalize. If nobody has any topics or questions, we'll end the meeting now. Okay, good. Then thanks everyone for joining. See you on Thursday.